Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Psyche Quest TDT, the podcast where we embark on a journey to uncover the depths of the human mind and soul. I'm your host, and here at Psyche Quest TDT, we're all about exploring the ideas, philosophies, and stories that help you connect with your true self and live a life that lights you up. Whether you're seeking clarity, growth, or just a moment of reflection, this is your space to dive deep. Today, we're delving into the transformative wisdom of Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist who believed the key to a fulfilling life lies within. What happens when you choose yourself above all else? We're about to find out. So grab a cozy spot, maybe a journal, and let's begin this quest together. The journey of self-discovery. Let's kick things off with one of Jung's most groundbreaking ideas, the unconscious. Now, if you're thinking of Freud's view, repressed desires stuffed in a mental closet, Jung's take is entirely different. He saw the unconscious as a dynamic, living force, almost like a creative partner in your life. It's not just a dusty storage bin for old memories. It's a vast reservoir holding your personal experiences and what Jung called collective archetypes, universal symbols, like the hero or the wise elder, that connect all of humanity. Picture this. Your unconscious is whispering to you constantly. Through dreams, those unexplainable gut feelings, or sudden emotional reactions. It's like an inner guide, nudging you toward your true purpose. Jung believed that ignoring these signals leads to a fragmented life, one where you feel empty or dissatisfied, even if everything looks perfect on the outside. For him, the path to becoming your fullest self, what he called individuation, starts with listening to this unconscious wisdom and weaving it into your everyday life. Think of it like an inner compass. It's not always loud. Sometimes it's just a quiet nudge. Maybe you've had a recurring dream about being lost, or felt a wave of anxiety before a big decision. Those aren't random, Jung would say. They're your unconscious trying to tell you something. A dream about being lost might mean you're disconnected from your true path. That anxiety? It could be a warning to slow down and reconsider. Jung's genius was seeing these signals as purposeful, guiding us toward growth if we're brave enough to listen. Now, I'll be honest, this hit home for me. There was a time when I ignored those gut feelings, brushing them off as irrational. I was stuck in a job that drained me, but it looked good on paper, so I stayed. Everyone said it was the smart choice. But deep down, I felt this nagging sense that something was off. It wasn't until I started paying attention to my dreams, vivid ones, full of symbols, and those quiet moments of intuition that I realized my unconscious was practically screaming for change. Listening to it meant stepping into the unknown, and let me tell you, that was terrifying. But it led me to a life that feels so much more me. Here's where Jung's insight gets radical. The shadow isn't something to destroy, it's a source of vitality. For example, if you've buried your ambition because it feels selfish, that might come out as resentment toward successful people. But if you embrace that ambition, you might start chasing your dreams without guilt. This takes courage, because facing the shadow means looking at truths you'd rather avoid. And Jung pointed out that the shadow is shaped by your culture and upbringing. In a collectivist society, individuality might be your shadow. In a hyper-competitive one, vulnerability might get shoved aside. Knowing this helps you understand why certain parts of you feel wrong, and how to bring them back into the light. For me, confronting my shadow was a game changer. I used to pride myself on being the nice person, always agreeable, never rocking the boat. But I was suppressing frustration to avoid conflict, and it leaked out in passive-aggressive ways that hurt my relationships. When I finally faced it, through journaling and some brutally honest reflection, I learned to express my needs directly. It wasn't comfortable, honestly, it felt raw and scary, but it was so liberating. Now, I see my shadow as a teacher, not an enemy, guiding me toward being more authentic. The importance of authenticity and choosing yourself. Let's move to something we all crave, even if we don't always admit it, authenticity. For Jung, living authentically meant being in harmony with your true self, free from the masks we wear to please others. He called this mask the persona, the polished version of you that fits into society. Maybe it's the perfect employee, the fun friend, or the dutiful family member. The persona isn't bad. It helps us navigate the world. But Jung warned that if you over-identify with it, you lose touch with who you really are. Jung's concept of individuation is about peeling back those external expectations and aligning with your inner truth. This doesn't mean ditching society. It's about finding a balance where your choices reflect your values. Authenticity, for Jung, is a lifelong journey. It takes constant self-reflection and the courage to make decisions that honor your unique path, even when the world pushes you to conform. This sounds simple, right? Just be yourself. But in a world that rewards fitting in, it's one of the hardest things to do. Jung's insight is that authenticity isn't a one-time achievement, it's a practice. You have to keep asking, why am I making this choice? Is it mine, or am I afraid of being judged? For example, choosing a safe career over a creative passion might make your parents proud, but it could leave your soul starving. Jung's work pushes us to prioritize inner fulfillment over external validation, even when it feels risky. I struggled with this for years. I was chasing a version of success that wasn't mine, trying to be the perfect everything. It was exhausting. I'd say yes to things I didn't want to do, just to keep people happy. But when I started asking, what do I actually want? Everything changed. I took risks, like starting Psyche Quest TDT, that aligned with my passions. Defying expectations wasn't easy. There was pushback, and I doubted myself. But the peace of living true to who I am, that's been worth every second of discomfort. The role of self-love in transformation. Now let's talk about something Jung saw as the foundation of it all, self-love. And no, this isn't about being selfish or narcissistic. For Jung, self-love means recognizing your inherent worth and prioritizing your well-being. It's about accepting every part of yourself, light, shadow, and everything in between. Jung argued that without self-love, you can't fully love others, because you're giving from an empty tank. He tied this to individuation, saying that embracing all of who you are unlocks your potential to live fully. Self-love also means setting boundaries and honoring your needs, even when it feels like you're letting others down. Jung wasn't saying to isolate yourself. He was saying you need a strong inner foundation to show up authentically in the world. Jung's take on self-love challenges a lot of cultural narratives. In many places, especially for caregivers or women, self-sacrifice is put on a pedestal. But Jung flips that. He says neglecting yourself doesn't just hurt you, it limits what you can give to others. Think about a parent who prioritizes their mental health. They're not being selfish, they're modeling resilience for their kids. Self-love, in Jung's world, is an act of empowerment that creates a ripple effect. I learned this the hard way. I used to think self-love was a luxury, something I'd get to later. I put everyone else's needs first, believing it made me a good person. But I was running on fumes, snapping at loved ones, resenting my responsibilities. It wasn't until I started saying no, small things, like skipping events that drained me, and carving out time for myself, like a quiet walk or meditation, that I saw the truth. Self-love isn't just for me. It makes me a better friend, partner, and creator. It's like filling your cup so you have something to share. Alright, we've covered a lot of big ideas. Unconscious, shadow, authenticity, self-love. But how do you actually start choosing yourself? Jung's philosophy isn't just about thinking, it's about doing. So, here are 5 practical steps to bring his wisdom into your life. Grab that journal if you've got it, because these are game changers. First, listen to your intuition. Your unconscious speaks through those gut feelings, those subtle nudges. Start journaling about moments when you felt off or had a strong instinct. What were they trying to tell you? For me, journaling helped me spot patterns. like when I felt uneasy about certain friendships. Second, set boundaries. Look at your life. What relationships or commitments drain you? Practice saying no, even to small things, like an invitation that doesn't spark joy. It's tough at first. I worried I'd seem selfish, but it frees up so much energy for what matters.
Third, confront your shadow.
This one's deep. Reflect on traits you dislike in others. They often mirror your shadow. Try writing to your shadow, acknowledging it and asking what it needs. It sounds intense, but it helped me see my suppressed frustration as a call to speak up. Fourth, cultivate self-love. Make time every day for something that nourishes you. Exercise, a creative hobby, mindfulness. Treat these like non-negotiable appointments. I started with 10 minutes of meditation daily, and it's been a lifeline. Finally, practice self-reflection. Use tools like meditation or even therapy to explore your values and desires. Ask yourself, am I living for me or for others' approval? This question keeps me grounded. These steps work because they're rooted in Jung's belief that transformation needs both insight and action. Listening to your intuition taps into the unconscious.
Confronting the shadow builds self-awareness.
Boundaries and self-love align you with authenticity. It's like a feedback loop. Each step strengthens the others. The key is consistency. Small, deliberate actions add up, leading to profound change. For me, these steps were life-changing. Journaling showed me my intuition was trying to warn me about toxic dynamics. Setting boundaries gave me space to pursue my passions, like this podcast. Choosing myself daily, even in tiny ways, has aligned my life with my values. It's not always easy. There are days I slip back into people-pleasing, but it's always worth it. So I'll leave you with this. What's one small step you can take today to choose yourself? Maybe it's writing down a gut feeling, saying no to something draining, or just taking 5 minutes for you. Whatever it is, start now. Your true self is waiting. That's it for today's episode of Psyche Quest TDT. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who might need a nudge to choose themselves. And I'd love to hear from you. What step are you taking to live more authentically? Drop me a message or leave a review to keep this quest going. Until next time, keep exploring your psyche, stay true, and I'll see you in the next episode.